Sam Adams, Benjamin Franklin. These men spoke up for what they thought was right. From their courage came such documents as the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution of the United States. From their willingness to speak what was sometimes unpopular but right, we enjoy such liberties as freedom of speech, the right to keep and bear arms, and freedom of religion. There are those who still wish to oppress our freedoms, and there are still patriots willing to stand up and defend life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Men like Zeb Bell, who honor our founding fathers and what they stood for. It's now time for Zeb at the ranch, speaking up and defending your freedom. Brought to you by Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers and all of the other great advertisers on the program. And now, Zeb Bell.
Did you know that South Dakota, the state of South Dakota, is the only state that's never, ever had an earthquake? And did you know that the state of Rhode Island has the nation's oldest bar, the White Horse Tavern, and it opened up in 1673, and some of the patrons are still sitting there. Rhode Island and South Dakota, our state salute this morning. Good morning, everybody. Here comes Kate Smith, and God bless America. Good morning. Need a Pledge of Allegiance. I love that song, and I love that lady. Thank you very much, Kate Smith, and God bless America. Thank you. Good morning, everybody. I'm Zeb Bell, Zeb at the Ranch. And, of course, our major sponsor, your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers, all 7 locations serving you, and along with some of our great advertisers like Western Waste Services, always at your disposal. Get on the route service today. Call them at 734-6969. And don't forget Valley Wide Home and Ranch. All kinds of things going on at Valley Wide Home and Ranch. In just a couple of weeks, that great big antique tractor show at 910 South Oneida in Rupert. Everything for the farm, the home, and the ranch at Valley Wide. And right now, let's see if we have a Pledge of Allegiance person. Good morning.
Good morning to you, Mr. Chris.
Yes, sir.
You are ready.
I am, and I'm waiting.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, my dear friend. Thank you.
Hey, Deb, I was watching that movie last night, Pearl Harbor.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? If we don't get congressmen off the dead hind end and start taking care of our business, we're going to get smacked again, only this time we're not going to recover from it.
You know, Al, I don't even know how to respond to that statement because I agree with you, but I'm frustrated. I have been in contact with many of the senators and congressmen, letting my feelings be known to them and their lackadaisical approach to politics, more worried about taking care of their job and maintaining their job than they are protecting the United States. I don't know, Al. I'm frustrated this morning, and I think it's going to come out in some of the stories I talk about here in the first hour.
It's just getting worse. And may God help us because we're not helping ourselves.
Amen. Amen. Thanks, Al.
Have a good one.
You too. Thank you. He's right. He's right. And there needs to be some drastic changes in the way that we're doing things. This Obama administration is absolutely the worst ever in our nation's history, bar none. Calls are welcome, 436-2244, but first of all, it's time for the weather, and it's brought to you by Cheney Flooring and Home Design, 1228 Oakley Avenue in Burley. Look for the blue door for the best of carpet and flooring, and don't forget they're having their anniversary sale, June 5, June 6, my goodness, all kinds of fun this week at Cheney Flooring and Home Design. Carpet as low as $5.79 per square yard, vinyl as low as $7 per square yard. Oh my, get into Cheney Flooring and Home Design, 1228 Oakley Avenue in Burley. Look for the blue door. And right now here is Michael Rogers weather.
Hello everyone, Michael Rogers has been at the ranch, back and forth with showers and Gaddis Challenge, a big one time through the Magic Valley yesterday, and more of the same. Daytime highs for today, 76 for the high, 47 for the overnight low. Things work out tomorrow. It's going to be a beautiful day. Your weather, the only weather you got.
All right, Michael, thank you very much. Brought to everybody by Cheney Flooring and Home Design, 1228 Oakley Avenue in Burley. Look for the blue door as they bring you Michael Rogers weather. Absolutely the best. Thank you very much. This is June Dairy Month, and it's funny. It doesn't often happen this way, that the first of the month falls right away on Monday morning, and I'm very, very thankful that it does, because we've got a full month of June Dairy Month, and we're going to have a lot of giveaways, we're going to have a lot of contests, we're going to be giving away a lot of product, as a matter of fact. We've got cows, we've got milk to give away, all kinds of things for you right here on Zebeth Ranch. June Dairy Month, going to be a good one, so stay tuned. Don't forget to SafeLink Internet. First month free and free installation. That's right. No contracts, no credit checks, unlimited data, and they are the best. Idaho's #1 choice for wireless internet. 17 years and counting. 18 right around the corner at SafeLink Internet. You get on their program today. 677-8000. That number again, 677-8000, SafeLink Internet. Really good folks. Also, want to remind you about our friends at Daryl's Cleaners. 1223 Albion Avenue in Burley. I was in there the other day, as a matter of fact. Deanne ran in and grabbed our Rumply Crumplies that weren't anymore. They were brand spanking new. They do such a wonderful job of dry cleaning your clothes, whether it's your sports shirts, ladies' dresses, sports jackets, men's Wranglers, whatever. They do the best job of anybody at 1223 Albion Avenue in Burley. The number to call, 878-8900. Daryl's Cleaners, the best. All right, give us a call, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. As I said, June Dairy Month, and we will be giving away a lot of items on this program thanks to our many, many sponsors. And June Dairy Month is going to be going on for quite some time. We've got quite a few air days during June Dairy Month, and we'll be giving away a lot of product. And we're going to have a contest for a couple of things later on this morning, so stay tuned. Also, our thank yous go out to Ramsey Heating and Electric at 2600 Overland Avenue in Burley. The number to call, 678-0459. Now, here's what I want you to remember. It's getting warmer, lots warmer. And with that, you'll probably turn on your air conditioning unit and, not working right. Well, you better get some clean, efficient air filters for your air conditioning unit. And they've got them at Ramsey Heating and Electric. You can buy in a case of 12 and get discount pricing. So you be sure and stop in and see them today. Ramsey Heating and Electric at 2600 Overland Avenue in Burley, where they provide warm winters and cool summers. Oh, by the way, too, before we get rolling here this morning, I want to say a big thank you to Valleywide Home and Ranch. They are really got a lot. They have a lot of things coming up in the next couple of weeks, including on June 19th and 20th, that great big antique tractor show. And that's going to be really great with a lot of prizes and trophies and everything. And don't forget, too, that they've got all your horse tack and farrier equipment, the shoes, the nails, everything at 10% off. And all the 4-H supplies are 10% off, too. And what a great department for fishing, including the worms and the licenses, everything right there at Valleywide Home and Ranch, 910 South Oneida in Rupert. Sean and Mandy, the whole crew, as I said, for the farm, the home, and the ranch. It's Valleywide Home and Ranch. Some of our veteran soldiers, and I caught this on television the other night, and I wanted to ask you what your thoughts are about this. Some of our veteran soldiers are going back to the Mideast on their own. On their own. They are coming up with their own money. They are coming up with their own weapons. They are coming up with their own travel. Everything is out of their own pocket. Some of our vets are absolutely upset with the retaking of Iraq. the basically giving away of the land that was claimed by our American soldiers' blood, and they've had enough. They're going back over to fight, and they're going back over to kill ISIS and the Taliban. And like I said, they're lining up their own money, they're lining up their own weapons, and that's the spirit of the American soldier. That's the spirit of fighting with comrades and the brotherhood. And Bill O'Reilly the other night told this one particular soldier, he said, well, I just don't think it's right. I don't think you should do it. I don't think you should get involved, all this. Wait a minute. Our government is taking us right down the funnel into hell. And it's nice. It's very comforting to think that there are some still that say, no, my brothers didn't die in vain. We're going to go back and rectify the situation. What are your thoughts? Should they be doing this, or should they stay here and let this Obama administration lead us more into a desperate type attempt to solve the problems in the Middle East, and it's not working? What are your thoughts? Give me a call, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. Please give me a call. I'd like to hear what you have to say. While I'm waiting for your call that I know is coming in, I had the nicest meeting the other day with the folks over at Denny's restaurant, and believe me, they really are doing a job. Now, when you talk about great places to go, you just have to put Denny's into the fray, because I'll tell you what, they are doing a fantastic job at 611 Overland in Burley, and also with another new location at 291 Pole Line Road in Twin Falls. The breakfast menu, the lunch menus, the dinner menus. I mean, absolutely phenomenal food. Just ask any one of our Zeb's Lunch Bunchers that go over there. Oh, my goodness, it is delicious. And the people are so kind and they're so thoughtful. Please, I urge you to stop in the Denny's restaurant, 611 Overland in Burley, the home of Zeb's Lunch Bunch, and enjoy the great food, breakfast, lunch, or dinner at Denny's restaurant. Well, give me a call. What do you think about our soldiers, our veterans, making a concentrated effort on their own to garner the funds and come up with the money and the ammunition and the weapons and the travel expenses and everything else, and try to go back into the Middle East on their own? What are your thoughts? Give us a call, please. 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. I really would like to get your opinion on that. While I'm waiting for your call that I know is coming in, you know Barry Equipment and Rental. 3 locations serving you. Caller, I'll be right there, I promise. Twin Falls, Jerome, and 159 West Highway 30 in Burley. And right now, they've got the Bobcat track loaders, 0% financing up to 60 months. They've got lots of the Doosan equipment for rent. And don't forget, too, they've got all the Walker mowers, 0% financing until June 30th. You better stop in and see Barry Equipment and Rental today. Addison Avenue West, Twin Falls, South Lincoln and Jerome, and as I said, 159 West Highway 30 in Burley. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning, Seth.
Yes, sir.
Kind of have a two-part feeling about it. I mean, they have the right. They deserve to go back to my school if they possible want to get it back. But on the other side of things, I kind of feel we're going to need them here. We're going to need your experience. They're younger soldiers. We're going to need your experience and their abilities here at some point in the near future, I hear. And when we want them, we need them. They won't be here for us.
Well, I can understand the frustration of the American soldier, the way that they've been treated or not treated over their involvement in the Middle East. I can understand their frustration. But, you know, I have a tendency, Riley, to agree with you that their expertise and what they know and how they do it is a very valuable tool that the way things are going, like you said earlier, we might need them right here. I just wonder, without any support, if they basically, and I hate to use this word, but I think you'll understand what I mean, if they're not basically almost lining themselves up for a suicide mission, and I certainly hope and pray that's not true.
Well, I kind of feel that might be exactly what happens. You know darn well when it comes time to come home, that they're going to be left there. They're on their own. They're 100% on their own. The government ain't going to help them. The only way they get help from the U.S. is if us citizens pooled up together, you know what I mean? Other than that, there's no benefit from it at all.
I think it's been an abysmal failure, what we have done over in the Middle East, and from the get-go. I mean, the whole thing has been just like pouring money and human lives down the drain. But there has to be some kind of a stopgap measure. There has to be something that is going to stop this cancerous approach of the Middle Eastern ISIS, Taliban, Al-Qaeda, etc. Something has got to be done. It's going to take some movement. It has to take some movement, Riley, or that cancer is going to encroach all over the globe.
And I agree with you on that. It's kind of one of those situations where you can't have it both ways. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Both ways, but you can't have it both ways.
All right, my friend. Thank you very much for your call, as always. I appreciate it. Thank you. What do you folks think about that? I listened to that soldier and the sincerity in his voice, and look at his eyes. And, boy, I mean, there was retribution in his eyes that he wanted to go back over and take care of the bad guys. And they didn't give out exactly all the numbers that were going to go. I think basically he might have said too much information to Bill O'Reilly on his program. But I respect them. I respect them for what their motives are in trying to right a very bad situation. What are your thoughts? Give me a call, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. The Mini-Cassia Relay for Life is coming up on June 19th and 20th at the Cassia County Fairgrounds, and it's going to start at 6 p.m. on Friday night the 19th with the opening ceremony. And this is the 17th year for holding the Relay for Life in the Mini-Cassia area. And last year, they raised more than $100,000 overall. Congratulations to all of these wonderful people for being involved to help fight and defeat the dreaded disease of cancer. Mini-Cassia Relay for Life on June 19th and 20th at the Cassia County Fairgrounds. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, Jeff.
Yes, sir.
I was very proud of them guys. Want to go back. But the problem is, Obama will do everything he can to nullify them.
Yeah, he will, and the government will. Go ahead, sir.
That's a jerk. I don't, he's on their side, not on our side.
You know, I'm not going to speculate on this program. I can't see into the mind or the heart of Barack Obama. The man is a confusing mess of different ideas and different thoughts. I don't know if he loves this country. I don't know if he has an animosity against this country. I don't know if he has any kind of America should be the number one leader in the world. I don't think he feels that way. I don't know about this guy, except that everything he has done since he's taken office has been a direct attack on the moral value and the, quite frankly, business value of what America stands for.
Amen. We'll see you. Bye.
All right, sir. God bless you, too. Thank you very much. Nice man right there. I've tried to be fair in looking and reading about Barack Obama. I've tried to be fair about what in the world is this guy thinking or not. And I can't be fair anymore. I don't see anything that is of benefit to us, the United States. Look at the Taliban 5, trading 5 heinous, bad, murderers, killers, thugs for a deserter, Bo Bergdahl, or maybe even worse, if it comes out in the court trial, a traitor. This does not make any sense. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning, Jeff. You remember the word mercenary?
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of what these soldiers are going to be. They're not going to be compensated.
That's right.
They're probably on their own, right?
That's right. That's right. They're having to get their own money for everything if they want to go. Money for the arsenals, money for their travel, money for everything.
Well, every year my wife tries to organize a block party.
Uh-huh.
maybe involves, 15 people. You can't even get together on that. How are they going to get all these guys going in a flight in the same direction?
I don't know. Keith, I have no idea about the logistics, but I guess what I'm talking about this morning is the concept. I understand this soldier's attitude. I understand their anguish. I understand why they want to do this, because they do not want to let their brothers and comrade in arms have their blood spilled for nothing and give it back to the cancerous enemy.
And the worst thing about it is that if they get captured, the U.S. will do nothing about it.
I agree.
What a shame.
I don't want to sit here on the radio this morning, Keith, and run down the United States, but I absolutely cannot stand by and listen to what Barack Obama does or doesn't do and his administration and sit back and not complain and not give you the information about how negative they are. They are not doing things right. I mean, how can you give 5 Taliban killers, and they were, back into society for a deserter, Bo Bergdahl? And Lieutenant Colonel Ralph Peters said it the best this weekend. He said, release him, go ahead, let him go, but then kill him. And quite frankly, I think he's right.
Yeah. The thing is, you can't believe anything Barack Obama tells you. If he told these people that it would be okay to go over there, it would be fine, they would receive all the benefits and everything. But do you think it'll really happen? Remember about you can keep your doctor if you want? No, this man cannot be trusted in any way, shape, or form.
Well, you remember the concept of the Rambo movies, and then also there were other movies that were made similar to it, to where they went back over without the government support, etc., and wanted to get some of our prisoners of war that were still languishing in some of the death camps, if you will. This might be the same kind of a concept, but you know something? Here are American soldiers, American citizens that are saying, we're not going to give this land up after our brothers died on that soil and were injured on that soil. We're going to go back and do the best we can to take the bad guys out. You have to respect them for their thoughts, but God help them, I hope, if they go, that they will be safe, but no one knows.
One thing that really has bothered me about it is you don't know who you're fighting. They all are the same. I mean, they have the same colors.
Yeah.
They're all Arabic, right?
Well,
so you don't know who the good guys are or the bad guys.
I would agree with that. I would agree with that wholeheartedly. And I would also say this, the intelligence that they need to pursue the bad guys, whether it's something from the air or whether it's something from the ground, or somebody that can be an intelligence factor in supplying the information as to where the troop movements are, where their headquarters are, etc. I would hope and pray that these soldiers would not go over there in a blind rush trying to take care of righting the wrongs that have been done, because that would be suicide.
For it to work at all, we're going to have American support.
Well, I agree with you, Keith. God bless you for your call this morning, my dear friend. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Hey, don't forget Mount Harrison Audiology. As a matter of fact, I'll be seeing that lovely lady tomorrow over at Mount Harrison Audiology and Hearing Aids, right behind the Minidoka Hospital, across from the emergency room. And the number to call for appointment to have a hearing screening is 312-0957. Hearing loss is not a part of aging. No, it's not normal. So please get a hold of her today and have a hearing screening meeting, okay, at Mount Harrison Audiology, 312-0957. That number again, 312-0957. You please call them today. And right now, here is the Capital Press Ag Minute.
Today's Ag Minute brought to you by the Capital Press, the West Ag Minute.
Interior Secretary Sally Jewell has revealed plans to preserve habitat in 10 western states for an imperiled ground-dwelling bird, the federal government's biggest land planning effort to date for conservation of a single species. The proposal would affect energy development. The regulations would require oil and gas wells We clustered into groups of half a dozen or more to avoid scattering them across habitat of the greater sage grouse. Drilling near breeding areas would be prohibited during mating season, and power lines would be moved away from prime habitats. The U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service faces court-ordered deadline of September 30th to decide whether the bird needs protection as a threatened or endangered species. For Capital Press Ag News, this is Morgan Vanderwall.
For more agriculture news and information, tune to the West Ag Weekly, the Capital Press, and CapitalPress.com.
All right, thank you very much, Capital Press, and thank you, Mount Harrison Audiology and Hearing Aids, and Christine Pickup. You better believe it, the number to call for a hearing screening appointment, 312-0957. A lovely lady helping you preserve your hearing. Thank you. Caller, real quick. Go ahead. Good morning. I've got to give away some cinnamon rolls in just a moment. Go ahead, please.
Yes, what happened to Bo Bergdahl?
All right, I'll turn the question on you. You tell me. I haven't heard a thing about the court trial. I haven't heard anything about the progression of the charges. You haven't heard anything about them. This is one of the biggest farces that I have ever followed in my life. It seems like they laid a great big blanket over the whole story. Fred, I don't know. You tell me.
Well, I think you're right. They've covered everything up to here. Now, he probably somewhere they're paying him just like they always have been. He's probably going to get a pension. And I can't believe what's happening here.
Fred.
And, they had to shot him World War II for pulling that kind of stuff.
Yes. Yes. You know, Fred, I've been trying to get information on this. I've told you 4 weeks ago on my program that I was going to do everything I could to find out a little bit more about the court hearings. I wanted to find out more about the judicial system as far as his court-appointed attorneys and what was going on with the military. I'm going to tell you what I think about this, and you can tell me I'm all wet. I honestly believe that the Obama administration is doing all they can to hide and shelter this case until they find out what's going to happen with the Taliban 5 that they gave basically back into the wilds for Bo Bergdahl. I don't think we're going to know the truth on this story for quite some time to come, if ever.
Absolutely, they're hiding. They're hiding everything. You bet. I'm with you all the way.
All right, my dear friend. Good to hear from you. Take care. God bless. Thank you. I've got to give away some cinnamon rolls from Sophie's Chatterbox at 530 East Street in Rupert. And you can win right now a half dozen of the delicious cinnamon rolls. Oh, my goodness sakes, Sophie's Chatterbox. Right on the square in Rupert. Open 6 to 6 weekdays, 6 to 2 on weekends. Absolutely a phenomenal bakery. And here's the question for today, due to the fact that today is June 1st, June Dairy Month. First person to call with the right answer is going to win a half dozen cinnamon rolls. Of all the 50 United States, what rank is Idaho for milk production? Out of the 50 United States, what rank is Idaho for milk production? First person to call 436-2244 with the right answer is going to win a half dozen cinnamon rolls. If you're a previous winner, you can't qualify because we want to share the wealth a little bit. So somebody give me a call. Of all the 50 states, what rank is Idaho in milk production? Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Number 3.
Who is this?
Tony Luna.
Tony Luna, do you like cinnamon rolls?
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, here's a new rule, Tony. I like them too, but I've been on a diet. You get a half dozen of those cinnamon rolls, you call me and we'll meet and we'll share the wealth. How's that?
That sounds good.
Hey, I'll tell you what, buddy, you just call Sophie's and let them know when you want those cinnamon rolls. They'll have them made hot and fresh for you, okay?
All right.
Tony, thank you. God bless. It is correct. Third, Idaho now has moved up to number 3 in total milk production of all the 50 states. So congratulations to Tony and congratulations to the state of Idaho. Calls are welcome, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. By the way, on Tuesdays, don't forget we have Dr. History segment sponsored by Minnecasia Sales at 1321 East Main Street in Burley, right across from the airport. Old Zack Attack and the rest of the crew, always with all your spring remodeling projects, all your lumber, all your shingles, all your windows, all your carpet needs. I mean, they've got everything over there at Minnecasia Sales, including all the excellent Tartar Farm and Ranch equipment, too. Oh, baby, it is good. Minnecasia Sales, 1321 East Main Street in Burley, 878-2091. All right, give me a call, 436-2244. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Yes, good morning, Brad.
Hello, Tony.
Could it be that Wood River Valley is heavily Democratic and they're making large contributions to the Obama administration? Could this be part of the Bergdahl problem?
You know, that's speculation, Tony, and I don't speculate. It's either got to be blatant, hard, cold facts, or I'm not going to say one way or the other. What I am going to say is, and I think you'll agree with me, the information about Bo Bergdahl, the info about the court trial, the info about his being a deserter, the inferences that he also did worse and he was a traitor to our country, all of these things have left America hanging. But you know something, Tony? It's been put on the back burner hoping the American public would forget about it. But I'm not going to, and I don't think you are either.
Well, there was that one instance during World War II where that young fellow was picked up for a desertion and he was put up against the firing squad. That was it.
That's right. You know, and I know that there is a state feeling of Idaho, welcome Bo back and everything else. But wait a minute. This young man and his family, it seems like there's a lot more to the story than has been told. And we, the American public, need to know exactly why this president, this administration, would let 5 killers, thugs, punks, worthless, absolutely worthless people loose in a trade for a deserter. Tony, I'm still stumped by this. You got to help me. I don't understand it.
Well, I don't know. The only thing I can say is they turn these guys loose, these 5 ones. How many more of our American troops are they going to be able to kill?
Yeah. If they think that they're going to be released and start a Sunday school class, you got another thing coming.
Well, this is born killers, and that's all they know, and that's all they do, and they've just got an agenda.
I agree.
They're still American.
I totally agree. Tony, you and Mary, we've got to go out to eat one of these days. God bless you, man. Thank you.
Anytime.
All right, buddy. Thank you. Appreciate it. Don't forget Ramsey Heating and Electric offering rebates on qualified Lennox home comfort systems. Whether it's a gas furnace, an air conditioner, or a heat pump, you and your family will enjoy the comfort. All you have to do is call them at 678-0459. Ramsey Heating and Electric, where they provide warm winters, cool summers, and Lennox. Thank you very much. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning, Jeb. During the week, I'm not sure which day it was, if that's maybe like Thursday or something, I heard on the news that they now have solid evidence that Bergdahl has been planning this long enough so he can practice sleeping on bare floors and different things he's been doing to prepare himself for his desertion.
You know, I'd heard those rumors, nothing that I've verified, but, you know, when you look at the situation with this young man, had made statements to his fellow Army mates that he was disgruntled and unhappy and wanted to side with the Taliban, and then he sent his equipment home, he sent his computers and his other personal effects home, and then all this was planned. I mean, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to understand that he was going over to the enemy. He's more than a deserter as far as I'm concerned, and I think you feel that way too.
Absolutely, because, and I don't think it was just rumors either, but very early on in this whole thing, there was evidence that he actually had given information and that their strikes had been more concentrated and more on target than they had ever been prior to his deserving.
Let me ask you one quick question here this morning. Why? Why would this administration, and yes, they had knowledge of Bergdahl, yes, they had knowledge of his desertion, why would they go and create an aura of giving the enemy any more of an advantage by supplying these 5 deadbeats and these killers back into the fold for Bo Bergdahl? Why would that even come up as part of a negotiation?
Well, as far as I'm concerned, it's unforgivable what he's done to our country. And there was no reason at all why they should have ever been traded.
Absolutely.
Besides, how many, what is it, almost 100 or more that he's released since then that we just don't hear a lot about?
Absolutely. This is a mess that is like cancer. It's growing and it's causing more heartache every day. Thank you, and it's really good to hear from you this morning. Thank you very much. Nice lady right there. Calls welcome, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. Give me a call. I would love to visit with you. Hey, it's June Dairy Month, and we've got all kinds of great sponsors we want to say thanks, including Dairy Queen at 2200 Overland Avenue in Burley and 5055 Lincoln in Jerome. Hey, head to Dairy Queen for the all-new Jurassic Smash Blizzard. Wow, with smashed up peanut butter cookies and cookie dough. It's delicious. Inspired by the new summer blockbuster Jurassic World with this great flavor. And we're going to be giving away some certificates for this starting tomorrow. So you stay tuned. Dairy Queen, thank you very much. And also Golden Valley Warehouse at 468 West, 1000 South of Burley. Royal and the gang says he has a great bunch of guys and gals working at Golden Valley Warehouse. And they salute June Dairy Month. Don't forget, they also custom pleat your seed right there at Golden Valley Warehouse. Wishing everybody a great summer and happy June Dairy Month. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning. And to Tony, for winning.
What did you say just then? It all blurred on the radio.
What's that?
Whatever you said, it didn't come across right on the radio, so...
Yeah, it went through.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Go ahead.
He had to call and rub it into my nose. Anyway, you look at it this way. Our illustrious president said 5 of the worst guys at Guantanamo and set them free. He also paid them, what was it, $80 million to let him free as well.
Yeah.
Looks to me like somebody is helping the Taliban.
I don't understand how you can sit down and call it any kind of a negotiation. What was in it for us? We brought back an American soldier that was a deserter, and if everything comes out and the facts are given that he was also a traitor, we get nothing. We get nothing but the prosecution of a man that absolutely hated his country. They get back 5 of the quarterbacks of lining up terrorist acts and committing more mayhem and murder. I mean, what kind of negotiation would give 5 for 1 and the 5 are very, very deadly people?
Somebody who wants the Taliban or the Muslims to be in charge. Someone who has been backing them several times on, out of the back door. For some reason, people don't realize this, but this president and his administration has been aiding and abetting the enemy.
I can't argue a bit of that, but you know something, Kiltman, I'll say this. This administration has fallen so short of anything that they had said way back to 2007 when they were running for election in 2008. And to all of the people that condemn me for coming down hard on not wanting Barack Obama to be the president, I would like to see these people. I would like to have the chance to look these people in the eye. I would like to ask them what they think now after 6.5 years of devastation, and it's going to get worse. This man is the worst president ever in the history of this country.
Well, the one thing he has done that he did with his campaign is he was for change. And that's what he's done.
Oh, my, yes. Always good to hear from you, Kiltman. God bless. Have a good day, sir.
Yep.
Thank you. Let's do the weather real quick, and then I'll take some more of your phone calls. And, oh my goodness, do you know that Father's Day is right around the corner? And all the June weddings are going on, and the parades and everything. Well, listen, if you're going to be involved in anything like that, you might need business promotional items, or maybe you want to get Dad kind of a nice apron for his barbecue cooking outside, world's greatest chef, or whatever. And the June weddings, I mean, my goodness sakes. Let's not forget Mad River Laser. They can do anything, all the coffee mugs, everything. They are fantastic for the clothing, the caps, the shirts, the jackets with your business logo on, whatever. I'm telling you, you've just got to get over there and visit with Nicole. Nobody does a better job than she does. And right now is a great time at 502 East Street in Rupert. And the number to call, 436-2293, Mad River Laser. They are the best. Here right now is Michael Rogers with.
Hello, everyone. Michael Rogers has been at the ranch, back and forth with showers and scattered showers. He had a big one time through the Magic Valley yesterday, and more of the same. Daytime highs for today, 76 for the high, 47 for the overnight low. Things work out tomorrow. It's going to be a beautiful day. Enjoy the weather. It's the only weather you got.
All right, Michael, thank you. And by the way, don't forget they have all the parade handouts that they can make for your business and the banners and everything else. Please remember Mad River Laser. They're the best. And, of course, the address is easy to remember, right on the square in Rupert, and that's, of course, 502 East Street in Rupert. Really good folks. Calls are welcome, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. I want to say this right now because it is with a note of sadness, but then also it's with a note of Godspeed, and we wish you well. And that's to our friend Senator Dean Cameron. And as you may or may not know, Senator Dean Cameron is leaving his Senate seat and taking on the job of Idaho Director of Insurance. And we're going to be talking to Dean on Thursday about this transition in his life. And he has been a long-time friend to this program. And whenever we've needed something, and I mean this seriously, whenever we've needed something, whenever we've needed information, whenever we needed something done, I mean, he would jump out of the Senate seat and get on the phone and help us. And I just want to say, not only from a professional basis of a senator taking the time to come on my program, but also a personal basis as a friend. Thank you, Dean Cameron, for your service. You will be missed, but we wish you well as the new Idaho Director of Insurance. Congratulations. Calls are welcome, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. Don't forget Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation at 1263 Bennett Avenue, Suite 2 in Burley, right behind Dr. Crane's office. You better believe it. Hey, by the way, write the number down first today, 678-1191, 678-1191, and they at Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation can help you get back to feeling like you with all the exercises, the sports medicine, the hydrotherapy pool with the treadmill in the bottom. Oh, Nick Greenwell and his staff are the best. Absolutely. Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation, 678-1191. You call them today. All right, speaking of calls, give me a call, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. You want to hear something frustrating? I didn't mean the caller, but I have another little story. Stand by, caller. Go ahead. You're on the air.
Yeah, speaking of our fearless leader and what he has done to this administration, I didn't know if you happened to catch that powerhouse workout he was doing. You happen to see that?
No, I didn't. What about that, Randy? I don't know anything about that.
Well, they were showing how he was working out, and his manly wife kicked the hell out of it. What she was doing was way more strenuous. It literally looked like he had two 2-pound dumbbells.
Oh, my
goodness. I
goodness.
think they were fine. I mean, they were so he is one weaselly, you know what. He is a scrawny, skinny wiener. And when I looked at what he was doing to work out, I said to myself, you know, when he smokes and everybody covers it up, you know, he is much, is he?
Well, yeah, I'm not going to denigrate him for exercising because all of us need to exercise. I will say that if I were him, I wouldn't be shown on tape anywhere trying to lift a total amount of weight of like a 2.5-pound dumbbell. Like you said, it's not very manly. However, he is skinny enough to take a bath in a shotgun barrel, and he never did portray the image of being a Superman changing his clothes in a phone booth. So I guess you got to take what he is.
Well, I know I'm being disrespectful, but he hasn't earned any respect. When the truth be known, not some, you know, spin coming from the media that loves him, but the truth of what he's done. What has he done to earn any respect?
You know, Randy, and that's a fair question. It's a good question because what has he done to earn the respect of America and Americans, and what has he done to help further and perpetrate the values of America? And I personally can't come up with any answers. All I come up with is negativity because I don't like the man, I don't trust the man, and I think in the 598 days left that he has in office, to quote an old phrase, you ain't seen nothing yet, baby. I think it's going to get a lot worse.
Yes, I think that, but I also think that we, not maybe, you know, we as the patriots, the caring people of the country, but also the enemies, the communist statists, they underestimate the people of America. And, you know, I still feel good about it, even though, you know, we got a hell of a bag to summon, I guess.
Yes.
You know?
I would agree with that, but I'll tell you what, all of us, and I wrote about this in my blog last week, all of us need to look in the mirror. All of us need to say, what can we do to help this situation? And all of us need to get involved. Randy, as always, thank you for your call this morning.
Yeah, hey, one thing. We need to find our stride. We need to find our energy, our second wind. We need, I tell you what, work will solve everything.
No question about it. Work that is for a value system of being sole, responsible, and self-reliant. I couldn't agree more, and I'm sick and tired of I'm going to talk about deadbeats here in a minute. You're not going to believe this next story, okay? Stay tuned.
Thanks.
All right. Hey, you know, I'm even going to put this on really quick before I get my next commercial on. Guess what? And this is out of the state of California. Yeah, that figures. In the state of California now, if you are drunk and can't drive and they call a designated driver, guess what? The taxpayers will foot the bill. Wait a minute, this is insanity. Somebody goes to a bar, I heard this morning early. Somebody goes to a bar, they get drunk and they can't drive, they call a number, and now the state of California is going to pay the designated drivers to pick the drunk up and take them home, and it's out of taxpayer money. Are we crazy or what? Ay, ay, ay. Calls welcome, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. Don't forget your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers, all 7 locations serving you. And serving is the key word right now with the free pre-trip safety check. Oh my goodness, Randy was on the air last week on Thursday telling us all about it. It's an exceptionally great program to make sure that you're going to drive safely. Stand by, caller. I'll be right there. They've got the best in tires. You know that. For your automobiles like the Ultra Z900, their best passenger car tire. Long tread life, smooth ride. It's on sale right now. And they've got the best in brake service. They've got the very best in front end alignment, shocks and struts, batteries. they've got the very best in service for you. So please take my word for it this morning that you, if you're going on a trip, better stop into your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers and see either Lane and Rupert, Dave on Blue Lakes and Twin, Mike and Buell, Mike and Jerome, the Twist family in Paul, John on Poline in Twin Falls, and Randy on Overland and Burley. The best, your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, Zeb. You know, California has another nickname. It's called the Granola State. Granola State. Fruit, nuts, and flakes.
Well, isn't this nuts? Isn't this nuts to think that a drunk in a bar can now have the bartender call a number for a designated driver, take him home? Oh, but the taxpayers will fit the bill.
Well, it is ridiculous. I want to make comment on what you're talking about, with what Randy was commenting about and what you've been discussing too. You know, when the truth be known, we're going to find out that we had a phony president that was born in Kenya, was not a U.S. citizen, and it's really sad. He has a faked up birth certificate. He has a Social Security number from Connecticut, and supposedly born in Hawaii. He came into the U.S. as a foreign student. You know, all these things have been documented, and yet, I guess because of his color and the national media just continues covering up. And of course, he's a Muslim. He's openly said that. He pretends to be a Christian, but never attends a Christian church, and he's done everything he can to denigrate Christians around the globe. And look at this foreign and domestic policy is to help the Muslims win. You know, that's the bottom line.
I can't argue, nor would I, with any of the statements that you have made. However, you must admit that when you or I or anyone else raises questions about his heritage or his ancestry or his location of birth, then we're called the hate mongers and the bigots because we're asking questions. And that will never change until this man leaves office.
Well, it's sad, but the truth will eventually come out, as it doesn't always. Look at Ben Hassard. I mean,
yeah.
I knew there was something wrong with this guy from day one, and of course it finally comes out. But it's going to come out eventually, and it's going to be the embarrassment for the United States to the world that we allowed somebody that was a non-citizen to basically come in here and transform this country into a socialist Muslim nation.
I agree. Adrian, I got to run to the news. Thank you very much. God bless. Thank you for your call. I think he's right. Anyhow, what we've got coming up next hour, very interesting with Sterling Burnett, Sterling Burnett from the Heartland Institute. We're going to be talking about global warming, climate change, the idiocy of believing in it. And then at 9:30, Kerry Kupek with the Alliance Defending Freedom. I'll be back in 6. Don't go away. Whoa. Caught me a little bit unaware there. Good morning and welcome back, Zeb at the Ranch. And we're brought to you by your major sponsor, your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers, all 7 locations serving you, along with some of our great advertisers, including Valley-Wide Home and Ranch at 910 South Oneida in Rupert. Everything for the farm, the home, and the ranch at Valley-Wide Home and Ranch. And our friends at Western Waste Services. Always at your disposal and doing a wonderful job. And, of course, get on the route to let me try that again. Route pickup service for your garbage to be picked up once a week. They do a phenomenal job. And also, don't forget, they can help you with the Go Minis. That's right, those storage containers. You can fill them up and then give them a call, and they'll store the Go Minis on their site location. You bet they're serving you. Locally owned and operated Western Waste Services, always at your disposal. You call them today at 734-6969. Western Waste Services, absolutely the best. Before we get our guest on the program this morning, I also want to talk about other people that are the best, and that's, of course, Hanson Mortuary at 710 6th Street in Rupert with our dear friend Joel Heward, the manager, owner, and his family and staff, always treating you and your family with the highest ethical standards with unquestioned integrity. When there's the passing of a loved one, please call the number and let them help. They will serve you. 436-5636. 436-5636. Hanson Mortuary. And please take this advice. All of us should get the information on pre-planning of funerals to help alleviate a lot of the stress and worry for our families. Again, call Joel Heward at Hanson Mortuary, 436-5636. Right now, let's go to the phone line, and we have a gentleman with us on behalf of the Heartland Institute back in Illinois, and we have H. Sterling Burnett. Good morning, sir. How are you? Well, it's my pleasure, sir, and I'm looking forward to talking about what's going on with the government's climate change and what they're trying to impose on us, and then also a committee and conference that's going on this month of June. Tell us a little bit, first of all, about the Heartland Institute and this conference that's going to be in Washington, D.C. Uh-huh. Right. Mr. Burnett, let me ask you this. I have been a long-time critic of this administration and the environmental movement with the blaming of everything on what first used to be global warming and now called climate change. But the President of the United States made some statements a couple of weeks ago in regards to, he was speaking at the Coast Guard cadet graduation, and basically paraphrasing said that climate change is a bigger threat than anything else our military faces today. How in the world can this man get away with saying something so frivolously stupid when we have ISIS and Al-Qaeda knocking on many more countries' doors? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mr. Burnett, I am not the expert that you are on climate change or global warming, whatever currently is the accepted phrase, but I have read and studied quite a bit about it. And quite frankly, I'm of the volition that it's a cyclical change. We're possibly hearing many, many scientists say that we're going into a cyclical cooling change for perhaps the next 15 to 17 years, but none of that is ever reported in the news media and or with this administration. Why are we buying into climate change so strictly that we're going to eliminate any kind of a power source for our grid to maintain power and electricity from coal and other sources? Why are they taking us down the road to regression? I think once we've reached that road to regression, we can never recover. Wouldn't you agree also? Mm-hmm. And along with that, Mr. Burnett, let me ask you this. There seems to be a lot of evidence and proof that through climate change and the United Nations, it would be a very good way to lessen the power of the United States, diminish our power, and basically could bring us down into a third world status underneath the guise of climate control. Wouldn't that be a fair assumption? Let me ask you this, Mr. Burnett, and being a part of the media like I am, I guess I'm going to have to take some of the blame. But what can we do in the media? The media seems to be very sheltered and, quite frankly, very stupid in their reporting on climate change and or global warming. They seem to be siding with this administration. They seem to be siding with the environmentalists. How can the general American public really realize the truth when they're only told that climate change is going to kill us all? Absolutely. Yep. Absolutely. We have a caller with a question for you, Mr. Burnett. Caller, quickly. I'm almost out of time. Go ahead, please. All right. All right. Thank you very much for your caller. Go ahead, Mr. Burnett, please. I have about 3 minutes left. That's right. Absolutely well stated. Mr. Burnett, I've enjoyed having you on the program, and I certainly hope I can call you back in the future and have a return engagement. On behalf of the Heartland Institute, you were very informative. Thank you, sir, and please come back in the future. Thanks again. All right, sir. Thank you very much. A very knowledgeable man and very articulate regarding the falseness of the global warming or climate change, and, of course, the great organization back in Illinois called the Heartland Institute. Normally we have many other people like James Taylor and Jim Lackey and others, and this morning we featured Sterling Burnett and did a wonderful job, and we'll have him back in the future. Thank you very much. Hey, don't forget, it's June Dairy Month, and some of our June Dairy Month sponsors include our friends at Smith's Food and Drug, 937 East Main in Burley. Oh, all your groceries, all your dairy products, everything you need, ice cream, milk, cheese, all right there at Smith's Food and Drug, 937 East Main in Burley. Great folks helping support June Dairy Month. And AMI, 710 Overland Avenue in Burley. You need a fastener? AMI has got your fasteners. Locally owned, farmers and machine shop operators, everybody goes for the bolts, the nuts, and the hardware at AMI. And they wish you a very nice and very tasty June Dairy Month. Thank you very much. Also, real quick, the Relay for Life is coming up on June 19th and 20th at the Cassia County Fairgrounds, and it's the Mini-Cassia Relay for Life, helping to garner funds to help defeat cancer, and we really say thank you so much. A survivor dinner will be held on June 17th at the United Methodist Church at 7 p.m., and this year the event at the Cassia County Fairgrounds, the theme is Let's Tackle Cancer. So we're very supportive of all the good folks helping to make the 2015 edition of the Mini-Cassia Relay for Life a huge success at the Cassia County Fairgrounds on June 19th and 20th. Calls are welcome, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. Before we get our next guest on the program, I want to remind you, too, about our friends over at Let's Ride. Oh, my, at 270 Highway 24 between Rupert and Heyburn. They got all the watercraft in there. You want to have some fun on the water. You want to have some fun on the river. You want to have some fun over at the lake. Well, now's the time to get a brand new watercraft from Let's Ride. Oh, boy, they've got a fantastic selection over there. Oh, and by the way, you've got a watercraft that you bought at Let's Ride a year ago, and you haven't had it serviced yet to hit the water this summer? Well, take it over and get it serviced. Absolutely a fantastic service department where the fun is sold. Let's Ride, 270 Highway 24 between Rupert and Heyburn. Really good folks. Oh, and when we talk about good folks, you know that we have to mention, of course, our dear friends at Cameron and Siemens Insurance, Highway 24 in Rupert. Absolutely. Number to call for an appointment to find out more about your life insurance, health insurance, retirement planning, employee benefits is 436, as I almost choked to death, 436-4424. That number again, 436-4424. Dean Cameron, Todd Siemens, dedicated and responsive to your needs. You be sure and get a hold of them today. Cameron and Siemens Insurance, Highway 24 in Rupert. Really great folks. Right now, let's go to the phone lines. And with us on the phone this morning is the lovely Carrie Kupek with the Alliance Defending Freedom. Good morning. Is she there? I am fantastic. Thank you for being on the program. You've been gone for a couple of weeks. What have you been on vacation? Over in Tahiti, kind of laying out in the sun, or what? Well, it's always nice to have you here, Carrie. Tell us about the Choose Life license plates. I understand that the Second Circuit Court of Appeals said, no, we can't have them. What's going on with these? Mm-hmm. Oh, my. Are you serious that the license plate that says Choose Life would be possibly, quote, patently offensive and cause road rage, when I thought the license plate, and I've seen a copy of it, was very, very tastefully done? You know, I get really outraged about these kinds of subjects, Carrie, to the point where I think it's time for all of us to stand up and have a unified voice that, yes, we will have these license plates. Yes, we're going to go ahead and pursue this, and the rest of the folks get out of the way. I don't even know what to say. I'm sitting here, and I know that the license plate, like you said, is a crayon drawing of a yellow sun behind the faces of two smiling children. And how could a court, how could a judge, really, that has any kind of intelligence at all, how could they sit there and say that that is patently offensive when the funding from these license plates would help other children find homes and help support the right to life and living and God's creation? I got to admit, I'm a little bit more than upset this morning, Carrie. Mm-hmm. Isn't this a complete revolution against the First Amendment by the court taking this stand? Isn't that a right of taking away the free speech to really honor our children and helping to find them homes, decent, God-fearing homes? Isn't that an assault on the First Amendment? I've got an idea. It just hit me, and maybe you've already thought of it. I'm sure you have. But if they're going to curtail the license plate of choosing life, why not create the license plate holders that have the information on them? How can they curtail that? Well, what about the general public as far as standing up and finally saying and doing something? What do we do? I mean, my listeners, it's a great audience, very conservative, very family-oriented audience, and I know they're outraged about this. But what about nationwide? Surely the numbers of decent people that would support little children and support choosing life, surely our numbers must be huge. Why aren't they standing up? You know, but there again, though, it seems like our government, with some of the things that have been said by the president, some of the things that have been said by the first lady, some of the things that have been said by the Democratic left, it's pretty hard to overcome those in the news media. And yet, when we protest, we're called the bigots and the hate mongers. It seems like we've got a pretty tough hill to climb. You know, Kerry, I really appreciate you bringing this subject up on the program this morning, and I know the Alliance Defending Freedom and all their great lawyers, you and everyone else, we really want to compliment you for a great job. Now, to follow this story and for other people to get involved, how can they learn more about the ADF? Okay. Now, Kerry, real quick, any other stories you want to mention real quick? I got about 3 minutes left. Anything else that we need to touch on this morning? Mm-hmm. Right, right. Kerry, let me put you on the spot here, and I'm not trying to be rude at all when I say this, but really give me your inside feeling about the Supreme Court decision. Do you have any pro or con or any negative or positive thoughts about where they might go on that ruling? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, I tell you what, I love having this lady on the program, the Legal Communications Director for the Alliance Defending Freedom, lovely Carrie Kupek. Hey, when are you going to be on TV again so we can all sit and look at you? Well, God bless. I missed it, but congratulations on a great job, Carrie. Always look forward to having you on the show. Thank you so much. Thank you. Alliance Defending Freedom, Carrie Kupek, very, very nice lady, and we do appreciate everything she does. It is time for the weather, and the weather is brought to you this hour by Duck Uglies at 163 West Highway 30 in Burley. I kind of laugh a little bit when I say that because, man, I tell you what, every time it puts a smile on your face to go to Duck Uglies. It's the place to go for a delicious meal and great entertainment. And I'm telling you what, folks, all your friends and neighbors are learning about how delicious it is. On Friday and Saturdays, of course, delicious smoked ribs. But listen to this. Today is Monday, and this is for us senior citizens. Listen, Mondays only for the seniors. If you're 55 and older, you can qualify to get the Old Duck Decoy Special. Quarter-pound burger, fries, and a drink for only $6 if you're an old fogey like I am. And don't forget, they got breakfast every day, Monday through Friday, and delicious breakfast burritos at Duck Uglies, 163 West Highway 30 in Burley. Come on, you old guys and gals like me, get in there and have the Old Duck Decoy Special at Duck Uglies, 163 West Highway 30 in Burley. And right now, here is Michael Rogers' weather. All right, Michael, thank you very much. And don't forget, Duck Uglies, 163 West Highway 30 in Burley, the best of delicious meals and entertainment. Calls are welcome, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. Give me a call. You know, there's a lot of stories in the news that will set me off. And I'll tell you what, this one this morning, or I should say this weekend on Saturday, when I read about this, I got to use proper terminology, this man in Twin Falls that poached a great big trophy buck completely out of season. The buck deer was probably tamed to the point where he was in a lot of people's yards and going around, and everybody enjoyed seeing this buck with a great big rack. And this nincompoop, this idiot, went out and poached the deer for nothing more than the reason of shooting the deer. You know, many, many times on our segment with the Idaho Fish and Game, we've talked about poaching. We've talked about how the crime absolutely needs to be paid with a severe penalty. And in this case, where this man killed the deer because he said he needed some of the meat and then cut off the antlers and everything. Why? What was the reason for killing a deer out of season that absolutely everybody enjoyed watching, everybody enjoyed looking at? And this man, don't give me that lame excuse, well, I needed the meat. There are so many options available to people today to get food if they're destitute, unemployed, whatever. This is a horrendous crime. And it's a crime against all of us. It's a crime against hunting. It's a crime against sportsmen. It's a crime against our own society because some idiot like this 33-year-old Twin Falls man, I personally feel he should never get out of jail. He has taken away from all of us. He has damaged all of our reputations as hunters and sportsmen. And there is no fine stiff enough or tough enough from the court system and the Idaho Fish and Game that I think befits penalizing him to the point where he really is going to know that he made a mistake. This is and his language about shooting the deer, if you read the newspaper story, was absolutely pathetic. I have no sympathy for this man whatsoever. None. What are your thoughts about poaching? And don't give me this lame excuse, well, he needed the meat. Are you kidding? He shot the deer primarily because he just wanted to shoot the deer for the antlers. And he shot it with an illegal weapon to shoot the deer with, a .22 rimfire. What is the matter with our society that we're not, boy, in this case, we should be demanding his head. I am absolutely livid about this. Because he hurts so many people. He hurts sportsmen. Sportsmen. He's not a sportsman. He's not a hunter. He's a killer. And this denigrates all that we are trying to do in our society today to have the understanding for sportsman activities of hunting and fishing. This stupid jerk set everything back 20 years. And it was such a waste. It was such a absolute waste by killing that deer. Why? There are so many agencies out there. If this guy was really truly hungry and this guy really needed food, I'll give him money for his groceries then. But you don't go and poach an animal like this or any animal out of season. It destroys everything that hunting and fishing stands for. What a jerk. Calls are welcome, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. Let's see, I also wanted to remind you, too, about our friends with Lennox. Ramsey Heating and Electric with our friends at Lennox Home Comfort Systems. Gas furnaces, air conditioners, heat pumps, everything you and your family need for comfort right there through Ramsey Heating and Electric. Saving you money and providing warm winters and cool summers. And Lennox. You give them a call today, 678-0459. I've been battling on the program some of the sound difficulties with the callers and my voice and everything, and hopefully this week we can get this thing fixed. Very uncomfortable situation. But give me a call, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. If you read that story about this deer, it was basically a tame animal. And like the newspaper said, it was kind of a local celebrity near Rock Creek Park and often photographed in backyards and around the park and everything. What is the sense in killing that? What is the sense in killing that animal? And what is it about certain individuals that they see something and automatically they have that killer instinct? This man, like I said, should, I think, be locked up in jail with the harshest sentence available to him. for what he has done, not only against the animal itself, but also against all the real sportsmen in America that buy the licenses and they do things legal. And now this guy goes out and is a stupid, perverted jerk in poaching this deer. Good morning, caller. You're on the air. Calm me down. Al, I agree with that, but then also in this circumstance, I absolutely believe there should be some kind of a jail sentence or jail time. Yeah, but Al, you agree with me. I know you're a sportsman in the past and everything. Look what this does in today's society when some stupid, absolutely backward thought person goes out and poaches a deer, and look what it does to really hurt the real true sportsman. I think that was very succinctly put. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate that. No use for this person. And the language that he used when he was confronted about killing the deer, I'm not even going to elaborate on what he said. You can read the newspaper article. It was just kind of a callous, kind of a very Neanderthal approach of a person that evidently doesn't have a very high education or opinion of himself. And what he did just hurts everybody. Hurts everybody. And I hope the law is tough enough and stringent enough so that he'll get the message, and hopefully others will too. Calls welcome, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. Give me a jingle. By the way, we have just a moment here. I want to remind you about the Chadwick Sports Grill at 139 West Main in Burley. Oh, one of my favorite sandwiches of all times is on the special for this morning. Yes, it is the Monte Cristo. I love those. Ever since I was a little boy, I love those Monte Cristo sandwiches. And you can get it with vegetables, choice of sides, super salad at the special today at the Chadwick Sports Grill, 139 West Main in Burley. Great food, great people over there at the Chadwick. You're going to enjoy it. The Chadwick Sports Grill in Burley. June Dairy Month, and we've got a lot of giveaways during the course of this month, and we want to say thank you to all of the businesses that are involved in promoting June Dairy Month, and we're going to have more on the air this next hour. And coming up this next hour, we're going to have Bruce Parker coming on the program, and we're going to be talking about fraudulent driver's licenses and some of the countries that are trying to apply for fraudulent driver's licenses here in the United States. And then at 10:30 this morning, we're going to talk to Jimmy Flowers about that great big car show coming up, Classics on the Grass. So stay tuned. I'll be back in a few minutes. Zeb at the Ranch. Oh, my. Welcome back. Hour number 3, Zeb at the Ranch. And, of course, brought to you by our major sponsor, your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers. All 7 locations serving you. And some of our great advertisers that we want to say thank you to, like Western Waste Services, always at your disposal. Get on the route service today and get rid of your garbage. Call them at 734-6969. And our thanks also go to Valley Wide Home and Ranch, 910 South Oneida in Rupert. Everything for the farm, the home, and the ranch at Valley Wide Home and Ranch. By the way, on Thursdays, don't forget we have a segment called Cassia County School Days, and we want to say thank you again to our 2 sponsors of the Cassia County School Days, Ambulatory Surgery Center at 1344 Highland Avenue in Burley, and they provide life-saving colonoscopies at the surgery center, along with many other surgeries, and saving you hundreds of dollars. Call them at 677-8888, Ambulatory Surgery Center. And don't forget A Child's World at 1308 Overland and Burley. They've got $15 play outfits for the little ones and fun water toys and activities for all those road trips right there at A Child's World. 1308 Overland and Burley. You stop in and see them today. Right now, let's go to the phone line. And when I read this story that was written by this gentleman, I was fighting mad. And with the VermontWatchdog.org, here is Mr. Bruce Parker. Bruce, good morning, sir. How are you? No, it's my pleasure. What in the world is going on, sir, that a international lawyer that can somehow claim to help illegal immigrants into this country, illegal being the key word, obtain driver's licenses with 45 days? What is happening here? You know, I got to ask you, Bruce, I hope you don't mind if I call you Bruce, but wow. What in the world happened to common sense? What happened to our Constitution? What happened to our laws? What happened to our regulations? What happened to the common sense that these people are illegal aliens and they don't deserve a driver's license? Now, wait a minute, Bruce. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to figure out that this is going to cause repercussions that are so much more serious than just having a driver's license. I mean, we use our driver's licenses to get on airplanes. We use our driver's licenses to buy guns. I mean, my goodness sakes, the ramifications and the extended problems are going to be limitless, are they not? You know, Bruce, when you wrote this piece, and by the way, it was an excellent piece. I really appreciate the effort you put into this. Who's getting the money? I understand that they're paying a lot of bucks, from $500 to $1,000, according to your newspaper or your article. Where does the money go for these licenses? Uh-huh. All right, Bruce, let me ask you a question here, and please, I'm not at all familiar with this entire story, so I might ask something that sounds a little naive. As far as this international lawyer is concerned, and he is, to use your words, kind of the middleman to facilitate these illegal aliens getting driver's licenses, can we not find out who he is and disbar him from any activity in the United States? Okay, now, Bruce, when you wrote this, I'm sure one of the first questions that crossed your mind probably was, okay, we're talking about not just Mexican illegals, we're talking about Russia and anybody else. What kind of a terrorist factor is this as far as danger to all of us by basically making terrorism illegal if they want to apply for these licenses? Why would anybody in their right mind, Bruce, I don't care if it's Vermont, I don't care if it's Idaho, I don't care if it's Texas or Wisconsin, why would anybody in their right mind want to provide and facilitate an illegal license to an illegal alien? Why? I mean, I can't understand the mindset. Oh, my Lord. How big a problem is it right now, Bruce? Or how big can it be, or will it be in the not-too-distant future? Yeah. Why wouldn't the citizens and taxpayers in the 10 states and the District of Columbia, why wouldn't they be outraged? Why wouldn't they be beating on their state capitol door? Why wouldn't they be grabbing their legislators by the short end of the necktie and tightening it up? Why wouldn't they be demanding this be stopped immediately? Yeah. No, I'm going to be very blunt with you, Bruce, and I honestly think this is all perpetrated underneath the table or behind locked doors in a smoke-filled room from Obama and his administration themselves, because they're going to circumvent what the law is. They're going to circumvent what the people want. They're going to go ahead and push for this as part of a immigration plan to put more voters on the Democratic ticket. That's my feeling. Tell me I'm wrong. I have to chuckle a little bit, Bruce, because here you have Bernie Sanders from your home state running for the presidency. What's his take on these illegal alien driver's licenses? All right. One final thought here before I let you go, Bruce. In the opening sentence of your story, it said foreign language ads are helping out-of-state illegal immigrants. Who is putting up the bill for the advertisements on radio and TV? Oh, my. Oh, my goodness. You know, Bruce, I'm going to hold your feet to the fire that if anything changes on this and you get more information, please call us direct, because you are excellent in writing this story. Thank you so much, and we'll keep in touch, all right? Bruce Parker, thank you very much. You bet. Thank you. You know, just one more thing. Just one more thing to worry about. Now, ads are being run on television and radio. If you're illegal, don't worry about it. We can get you a driver's license here in the United States. What in the world is the matter with us? What is the matter with our laws, our regulations, our congressmen, our senators? What's the matter with this Obama and White House administration? We're absolutely welcoming law-breaking into our society. We're welcoming illegal aliens into our society that have no right to be here, and giving them driver's licenses? The lawyer or lawyers that are involved in doing this should be tied to a stake out in the middle of the ocean on a little bitty raft and let sharks swim around until they tip it over. This is absolutely disgusting. And there's no control. These people, once they get that driver's license, it's validated to the point where they can get on airplanes, and you know what can happen there. They can buy weapons. They can do any and all sorts of things against our society. And these lawyers are aiding and abetting our downfall. This is absolutely nuts. Callers welcome, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. June Dairy Month, thank you very much, Joe Taylor Realty. My buddy Joe, I really have a lot of respect for this man. One-stop shopping, he's a member of both the internet and local multiple listing service, and Joe has the experience and is extremely well known in the community. Please call Joe Taylor for all your real estate needs, 678-9400. Joe Taylor, 1826 Overland in Burley. Thank you very much. And don't forget, we'll have more of our Dairy Days salutes again all through the month of June Dairy Month. Really good folks. Calls are welcome, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. Give me a call. Never-ending supply. A never-ending list of idiocy that's going on in our country. Let me see. I had one other story I wanted to talk about real quick this morning. I don't know about you, but I would pay a lot of money for a ticket to see the cat fight between Hillary Clinton and Carly Fiorina. Now, Carly Fiorina will very probably not get the nod for the presidential nominee from the Republican Party. She's going to be hard-pressed, even though I like her stand on issues. She's probably going to be very hard-pressed to get enough support to make it into the top 10% of the candidates that are going to be allowed at the various debates, etc. But I will say this. I would love to see Carly Fiorina sit down in a face-to-face debate with Hillary Clinton. I will guarantee you this, or I'll buy your lunch at Denny's anytime you want it, that she, Carly Fiorina, could put Hillary Clinton way back in the back of the line. This Carly Fiorina is very sharp. She's very quick, she's very educated, and she knows the issues. And frumpy Miss Hillary wouldn't stand a chance against this woman. It was interesting this morning, and I've got to comment on this. I've had this gentleman on my program many, many times, author Ron Kessler, and he's got a brand new book about Hillary Clinton and the Clintons in general. And in the book, he makes quite a few statements that show and tell how Hillary is not a very nice person. And she is known as the mean queen. And like I said, I would love to see the debate between Carly Fiorina and Hillary Clinton. It would be a bloodbath. Caller, good morning. I got 2 minutes. Good morning. You're on the air. 51% of the students that graduated were Hispanics. You know, okay, now, I don't mind that if, and here's the if, they're here legally and they're paying their taxes, their parents are, etc. I don't mind that. But, you know, when we aid and abet people to come into this country illegally, to basically be subversive against our laws and our Constitution, that's where I get really upset. God bless you, sir, and thank you very much for your call. You know, this giving driver's licenses to illegal aliens, and I am not going to change. They are here illegally. They are aliens to this country, not citizens, and the terminology that will be used on this program, no matter if I get threats, well, we'll sue you if you don't change. I couldn't care less. You go ahead and make threats to sue. I'm going to use the terminology as it should be. They are illegal aliens. I don't care if they're from Mexico. I don't care if they're from Russia. I don't care if they're from Cuba or wherever. Because if attorneys are giving them the opportunity to be and act like full-fledged citizens with a driver's license, we are in a lot of trouble. We are in a lot of trouble. I'll have more right after we have this break. We'll be back with Jimmy Flowers, my old buddy, in just a few minutes. Thank you very much. Welcome back. Our last half hour this morning brought to you by many, many people on our program, including Ramsey Heating and Electric and Lennox. With the home comfort systems, gas furnaces, air conditioners, heat pumps, you and your family will always enjoy the comfort. Warm winters, cool summers with Ramsey Heating and Electric and Lennox. You be sure and give them a call today, 678-0459. Excellent folks right there at Ramsey Heating and Electric. Oh, and by the way, too, on Thursdays we have a program called Gardening for Idiots. It's named after me, and it's sponsored by Vicky's Country Garden, with all the answers to your questions for gardening. And, of course, whatever it is, she knows. Vicky's Country Garden at 185 South 600 West of Paul. The number, 438-5663. She is your one-stop supply for all your gardening needs, all your decorative needs, your river rock, everything at Vicky's Country Gardens. You be sure and give her a call today, 438-5663. Right now, let's go to the phone lines, and an old buddy is on the phone. Good morning, Jimmy Flowers. How are you? Well, I meant old in only the nicest connotation, my dear friend. I am great, and you've got something pretty special coming up this weekend at the Cassia County Fairgrounds. Tell us what it is. Well, Jimmy, when you say it's the 29th annual Classics on the Grass, I mean, when you say the word classic, what kind of cars are you talking about? All right, now this is put on by the Mini-Cassia Auto Collectors Club, and 29th annual. So I'm assuming this has been pretty doggone good over the many years to go for 29 years. Wow. What's the admission charge to get into this? Okay. All right. Now, it's going to be at the Cassia County Fairgrounds, and it's coming up this next weekend on the 6th and 7th. What are the starting times? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now, Jimmy, I'm sorry, go ahead. Go ahead. All right. Now, it takes a lot of sponsorship to make these events really go and prosper. Who are your major sponsors for this year? Okay. Now, somebody told me that you're going to have a giveaway. Is there going to be a registration place to possibly win 4 tires from Les Schwab's? I see. Mm-hmm. Okay. And what's this about metal art that's going to be raffled off, and metal art by Glenn Dilworth? Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, Jimmy, I've got some questions for you. You have been restoring old cars for quite some time, and you've won a lot of awards with your Purple People Eater. You know, one of the questions I had is what happened to some of the great classics like the GTOs and some of the other cars? Why were they taken off the Detroit line as far as production? What constitutes stopping a certain line of cars? Yeah. Is there a source that, like, when you're restoring a vehicle and you need to get parts, you need to find things for the engine, or you need to find things for the body to keep everything original? What do you do for finding where to go to find those parts? Oh, really? Over the years of the 29 years that you've had this Mini Cash Auto Collector show, what has been the most, the hardest to find type car? What's been the most unique car that's ever been on this show, Classics on the Grass? Oh, my. Uh-huh. Well, now tell me a little bit about your cars. How many have you and your wife restored over the many years? Oh, my. And what's your favorite? Well, now, Jimmy, when you restore a car, you and Frida, your wife, how did you learn so much about the engine restoration, the body restoration, the paint jobs and everything? I'm assuming that you did most everything right there in your garage. Is that right? Okay. And let's talk just a little bit about your club, the Mini-Cassia Auto Collectors. How big an organization is that, Jimmy? Oh, my. And is each... Okay. Now, once again, before I let you go, it's going to be this weekend at the Cassia County Fairgrounds on June 6th and 7th. Why don't you give us the starting times and the admission costs and everything else one more time, if you would, please? Uh-huh. Okay. All right. All right. All right, you go right ahead and ask the question for today, and then I'll tell everybody the phone number. Go ahead. All right. Okay, that is easy and simple. First person to call right now, 436-2244, and tell everybody what the color of Jimmy Flowers' car that will be at the Classics on the Grass. Quickly, 436-2244. You call that number and we'll give you a couple of tickets. You got to hurry to the phone real fast, and old Wheels over at the station will put them on the air. All right, quickly, there's a caller. All right, caller, good morning. What is the color of Jimmy Flowers' car? Oh, my goodness, who is this? Well, Paul Peterson, you have won a couple of tickets. Jimmy, where can they get the tickets? Jimmy, where can they get the tickets? All right, well, Paul Peterson is the winner, and he's also our resident Zeb at the Ranch cartoonist. So, Paul, God bless you, man. Thank you so much for being on the program. Yeah, Jimmy, go ahead. Mm-hmm. Okay. All righty. Okay. Oh, that's going to be hard to turn down. I'll tell you what, one of our staunch Zeb at the Ranch, Zeb's Lunch Bunch followers, Jimmy and Frida, God bless you, and we'll try to take you up on that. And I'll plug every day till Thursday the Classics on the Grass coming up this weekend. Jimmy, thank you so much. All right, Jimmy, you're welcome anytime, all the time. Thank you so much for being on the program. Take care, my dear friend. There is a guy that has so much talent and so much ability, along with his lovely wife, Frida. And, boy, the restoration and the makeovers they've done on some of those cars, absolutely phenomenal. Mini-Cassia Auto Collectors 29th Annual Classics on the Grass coming up at the Cassia County Fairgrounds this weekend, June 6th and 7th. Don't you miss it. Holy cow, we got to get the weather in here. And the weather is brought to everybody by Scarro's Meats. Don Scarrow and the rest of the crew at 331 North Road, Jerome, and the number to call, 324-7657. They do sell taste, one bite at a time. They've got that tax return meat package. You've heard me telling about it for a long time. Delicious. For $300, you get beef like rump roast, New York steaks, ground beef, pork chops, bacon, oh my goodness, chicken, and cheese. Oh, delicious. Absolutely fantastic. At Scarro's Meats in Jerome. And right now here is Michael Rogers' weather. All right, Michael, thank you very much. Brought to everybody again by Scarro's Meats, where they sell taste one bite at a time. Located at 331 North Road, Jerome. Telephone number 324-7657. Better get this in real quick. My dear friend Dave Zanino and the Jerome County Fairgrounds Wednesday night Summer Series team roping will take place again on this Wednesday night, starting at 6:30 with the sign-up rope at 7, 3 for $25 draw pot, enter up to 6 times. And for more information, you can call Dave Zanino at 431-1263. Excellent roping, and Dave always does a good job, a fair job of running those ropings for everybody. Jerome County Fairgrounds this Wednesday night. Sign up at 6:30. Don't you miss it. Calls are welcome and appreciated. 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. Give me a call. Like to have you on the air this morning, and we'll talk about anything you want for the remainder here for this morning. This is June Dairy Month, and I want to say that my lovely bride has helped me put together various salutes to June Dairy Month, and we're going to have various prizes that we're going to give away and various ice cream and milk that you can win, so you be sure and stay tuned, and we'll have all of that during June Dairy Month. And we want to thank the United Dairymen of Idaho for everything they sent down. We've got all kinds of goodies. We got little cowbells, we got rubber cows, we've got all kinds of things. And I just want to say a big thank you to the Idaho dairy industry and the United Dairymen of Idaho for all their work, all their effort in getting things done for this June Dairy Month. Also, real quick, Relay for Life, Mini-Cassia Relay for Life. It's going to be at the Cassia County Fairgrounds on June 19th and 20th, starting at 6 p.m. with the opening ceremonies. And, of course, garnering funds for research against the deadly diseases of cancer. And I understand they're going to have local dance teams and cheer squads that are going to be out painting the town purple by tying ribbons on both river bridges and decorating the school rocks in the relay colors. Tires. This is going to take place on June 4th in a couple of days, and Terry Stabley is going to be decorating all the local businesses with the window painting. So congratulations as they try to do a lot more to draw observance and, yes, money for cancer research through the Mini-Cassia Relay for Life. Job well done. All right, give us a jingle, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. Like to hear what you have to say. While I'm waiting for your call, I'll take just a moment to say thank you to our Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers. Randy was on the air with us last Thursday it was, and we talked about all the 7 different locations with the free pre-trip safety check. Yep, there's a coupon you can get a hold of and stop in for some of the various things on this pre-trip safety check include tire inspection, tire pressure check, visual inspection of the front end components, check out the brakes, check out the shocks, etc. The list goes on. Great service to you at your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers. The best in brake service, the best in front end alignments and shocks and struts, the best in batteries, and of course, the very best of all the tires you need. With Lane and Rupert, Dave on Blue Lakes and Twin, Mike and Buell, Mike and Jerome, the Twist family in Paul, John on Pole Line in Twin Falls, and Randy on Overland and Burley. The best, your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers. Caller, good morning. You're on the air. Thanks for calling. Well, let me just throw this out. And I didn't have time to talk to Bruce Parker in its entirety because we ran out of time in the segment. But do you realize, I know you do, but does the general public realize the Pandora's box of problems they're going to open up by doing this illegality? And when it comes to voting time at the polls and the driver's license as a visible means of providing who they are so they can vote, I mean, we're opening up a problem where the left and the Democrats are just sitting back smiling like Cheshire cats because they've opened up a brand new line of voters that we can't control. Why are we doing this? Why are we letting this happen? Why aren't we up in arms and going after these insidious lawbreakers, these attorneys, everybody involved with giving these illegalities to illegal aliens? Why? Why are we letting this happen? No, and the number one thing they're not representing, instead of just us, is also the Constitution. They've broken that law and that bond and that tie with our Constitution, and I'm absolutely livid that we would allow attorneys and 10 other states, including the District of Columbia, to allow this illegality to happen and basically say, well, tough, that's the way it is. Amen. Amen. God bless you for your call. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. She's 100% right. What can we expect when you have an administration like this? Tomorrow on the program, I got to get my book right here because I can't remember who all the great people are that are coming on. We're going to have, of course, the open forum on the first part of the program. And then we're going to have, holy cow, even my good buddy from New York is going to be on tomorrow, John LeBoutelier, former congressman from the state of New York. And that's one of the questions I'm going to ask him about illegal alien driver's licenses. So all of this and much, much more. Dr. History is going to be here at 10:06, and we'll have a full plate on Tuesday, June 2nd. God bless you. The way things were, the way things ought to be. Zeb at the Ranch. We'll see you tomorrow morning at 8:06.